Hello all, I am your usual commentator, the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2009 World Championships format. On one side we've got the Speed Kingdra deck, as used by Sami Sekkoum to win the UK National Championships. It's going to be going up against the LuxApe deck, as used by Miska Saari to take top 4 in the Seniors division of the 2009 World Championships. The Speed Kingdra deck excels at getting fast attacks off with Kingdra's Dragon Pump to spread damage. Whereas the LuxApe deck pairs Luxray and Infernape, which are two powerful and disruptive SP attackers. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to comment and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter at Holland_Phantom, so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle. Looks like the Kingdra side is going first. They won't be able to play any trainers, but it looks like they're going to be able to get an attack off. Looks like they're going to use the reverse thrust to do 20 damage with weakness to the Infernape. The Infernape side goes and starts their turn and gets down a ball toy and an energy to the Infernape. They might be able to get an attack off even. We see a Uxie put down here, able to use its setup to draw the player up to 7 cards in their hand. So will they be able to find anything to help them get off their first attack? And it doesn't look like it, so it's just going to be a pass from the LuxApe player back to the Kingdra side. And the Kingdra side starting with a Roseanne's Research supporter card, able to find some basic Pokemon or basic energy from the deck. We're going to see a Horsey and a Belltoy grabbed. Will we see the Claydol played down this turn though? Looks like we're going to see the Broken Time Space Stadium, which lets them evolve immediately into the Claydol. So the Claydol is going to be able to immediately activate its Cosmic Power Pokepower to draw up to 6 cards in their hand after they put some cards to the bottom of the deck. So will they be able to get a Kingdra this turn though? We see the Seadra come down with the Broken Time Space, and we see the Super Scoop up used. So if they get heads here, they can pick up one of their Pokemon, and it looks like a heads it is. So they're going to pick up the Claydol back to the hand, and this means with the Broken Time Space, they're able to evolve that Claydol right back into play and use another of its Cosmic Powers. We're going to see the Unknown G hit the bench, and Unknown G can attach itself as a tool card to the Claydol, so it's immune to effects of attacks. Claydol's going to use another Cosmic Power, putting up to 2 cards on the bottom and drawing until they have 6 cards in hand. So drawing another, it looks like 4 cards there for a huge net gain. If they can hit a Kingdra here, this will be a huge turn. And it looks like the Kingdra was hit as well as another Seadra on the bench. They're able to evolve immediately thanks to the Broken Time Space and launch the first attack. It looks like a Dragon Pump for the knockout. So Kingdra up 1 prize already. Looks like the LuxApe player is just going to put up a Uxie and maybe see if they can get something else going on the bench. We see an Azelf there use its Time Walk to find a Pokemon that's in the prize cards, and it looks like they're going to find a Uxie level X. So putting up the Uxie means that it can now level up since it's in the active spot into Uxie level X. So they're going to find the Uxie out of the prize cards and then play it down immediately, and Uxie now gains access to the trade-off Pokepower, which lets them look at the top 2 cards and keep one. The other one has to go to the bottom of the deck. So it looks like they've chosen their card. Can they set up a counter attack on this really fast Kingdra? Looks like we're going to see a Call Energy on the Uxie, and it looks like they're going to use the Call Energy to end their turn, so no attack this turn, but the Call Energy will let them find 2 Pokemon to put on to their bench at the cost of ending their turn. It looks like they're going to go for 2 Luxrays here, probably a great call since they'd be able to hit the Kingdra for lightning weakness, and it's just going to be a pass back over to the Kingdra. So the Kingdra now has its full attack lineup ready to go, and we might even see multiple Kingdras hit the board this turn with another Cosmic Power to draw up to 6 cards in their hand. Looks like they're going to be drawing only 3 or 4 cards there. Will we see another Kingdra? And it looks like we do. So they have multiple Kingdras online now, and it looks like we're just going to launch a Dragon Pump, discarding 2 water energies from the hand to do 20 damage to the bench and 60 damage to the active. Since Kingdra can spread lots of damage, this can add up really quickly and become really dangerous for the SP deck. We're going to see Uxie use its trade-off once again to find another card from the top 2 of the deck, while the other one goes to the bottom. Let's see if they can mount the counter-offensive. We see the G attached to the Claydol, giving it protection from effective attacks, but not the Kingdra's damage, and we see the Claydol come into play, meaning that they can now draw some cards. Luxray gets an energy and an energy gain, meaning we might see the Luxray actually go for an attack this turn. And it looks like that's the intention. With the Uxie retreating into the Luxray, we might see the Luxray launch an attack. Looks like we're going to see the Premier Ball, allowing the player to search their deck for a Pokemon level X, in this case probably the Luxray level X, which can start attacking immediately. Will we see them use the Bright Look though? They have a chance here to use the Bright Look. And will they do it? It looks like they will use the Bright Look Pokepower, allowing them to bring up one of their opponent's benched Pokemon into the active spot. And with that energy gain attached to Luxray, Luxray's attacks cost colorless less, so it'll be able to use either its Flash Impact or Bite attack for massive damage. We're going to see a Cosmic Power there used on the LuxApe side, seeing if they can draw maybe some other attacking pieces for the next turn, maybe a supporter card, and it looks like we're going to see the first Cyrus's Conspiracy hit the board. So they'll be able to find another supporter card, a Team Galactic's Invention trainer card, and a basic energy. So it looks like they're going to find the Power Spray, a very disruptive trainer card that means they might be able to stop the Kingdra from making a move next turn. And also an energy to power up another Luxray. We're going to see the Crobat hit the board here, and Crobat can use its Flash Bite Pokepower to put 10 damage on one of the opponent's Pokemon. So it looks like they're going to damage the Kingdra, maybe in preparation for a weakness-powered attack next turn. And there we're just going to see the attack. Looks like it's going to be a Flash Impact attack, and they have to put 30 damage on one of their own Pokemon in order to use the attack. So going to take some recoil. Maybe Kingdra can take advantage of that with its bench spreading abilities, but the sides are now evened up on prize cards. So it looks like we're going to see another Horsey dropped, and they're going to attempt to use a Cosmic Power, but it is Power Sprayed, meaning that Cosmic Power cannot be used this turn. They're going to attempt to use a setup though, and it looks like the setup will go through. So no more Power Sprays being played from the LuxApe side, and setup will allow them to draw a few more cards, at the cost of taking up one of their bench spots. Looks like they're going to get a Luxury Ball, allowing them to search the deck for a Pokemon, and they're going to find another Claydol. Do they have another Ball Toy in hand? If so, this will be a huge move, as they can establish 2 Claydols to draw every single turn. And it looks like they do. There goes a Ball Toy, and with the broken Time Space Stadium, this Ball Toy can evolve immediately into the Claydol. So that's looks like it's going to happen. We're going to also see a Rare Candy played to evolve into another Kingdra. This Kingdra board is fully set up, ready to go. And it looks like we're going to see a Cosmic Power here, putting more cards at the bottom of the deck, and drawing probably a very hefty amount. Looks like 5 cards drawn for the Kingdra side. And now we might see a Kingdra attack launch. Looks like it's going to be probably another Dragon Pump, discarding a Water Energy and an Unknown G, doing 60 damage to the active, and hitting that Uxie that was already damaged for 20 more. The Uxie's only 10 HP away from being knocked out. So with lots of damage on the LuxApe side, looks like it's in a pretty bad spot. But we're going to see the Poke Turn played, which allows you to pick up one of those Pokemon SP and all cards attached to it, meaning that Luxray just got fully healed. Means they'll also be able to reuse their Luxray level X again, maybe going for another Bright Look. So let's see what they decide to go for. We're going to see a trade-off first, so they're going to get to look at 2 more cards from the top of their deck and keep one of them. And they could also use a Cosmic Power here to draw more cards as well. We're going to see the SP Radar, which makes them put a card back on top of their deck, and they can find another Pokemon SP from their deck. So they're going to find Lucario here, and Lucario is really good. It makes all Pokemon's weakness in play now ×2, so Kingdra's weakness of plus 30 to Lightning is now ×2, meaning Luxray can deal massive damage. We're going to see the Luxray level X played down again now that's in the active spot, activating the Bright Look Pokepower to bring up the benched Kingdra, which has already been damaged. And it looks like we might see a one-hit KO here on the Kingdra. We're going to see the Lightning Energy attached to the Luxray, and the Energy Gain attached to the Luxray as well. We haven't seen a supporter card yet, but we are going to see the Claydol here using its Cosmic Power to put 2 cards at the bottom and draw some cards. And we see a Cyrus's Conspiracy here, searching the deck for a supporter, another Team Galactic's Invention, and a basic energy. Looks like Luxray is going to be the main move in this deck since it can hit weakness on the Kingdra, so Infernape might not be the most useful this game. We're seeing another Power Spray grab, meaning the SP side will once again be able to cancel one of the Poke Powers the Kingdra uses, and we see a massive Flash Impact, which hits for 120 damage with Lucario GL boosting that weakness to ×2, but again they must take 30 damage, so they put the 30 damage on the Crobat. But with two Kingdras on board, there's a guaranteed response attack coming from the Kingdra side. They're coming fast and furious, and it's pretty dangerous that Kingdra's putting on a lot of pressure on the bench and will be able to take a prize card on the Uxie. They're going to go for the Cosmic Power, but it is Power Sprayed, and they go for the second Cosmic Power, and this one goes through. So the Kingdra player will be able to draw some cards with their second Cosmic Power Clay Doll that they have online now. Will we see an attack though from the Kingdra? Looks like we're going to see a Roseanne. They might be trying to get more water energy in the discard pile to store up for their other attack, Aqua Stream. So they're getting 2 water energy and putting those to their hand, and we might see the Dragon Pump here to discard those water energy. And it looks like that's what we're going to see. 2 energy discarded, and they're going to hit that benched Uxie for 20 more damage, knocking it out, meaning the LuxApe side has lost one of their draw engine Pokemon. So Luxray looking pretty bad itself with 90 damage on that Luxray. So they probably have to get that Luxray out of play really soon, but they don't have a backup Luxray on the bench ready to go. We're going to see the Luxray put down on the bench though. Maybe they can get an attack off with this Luxray this turn. We're going to see the Poke turn here, allowing them to pick up the Crobat, so the Crobat can reuse its Flash Bite Poke Power. It looks like that's going to be what's done here. Flash Bite going to be played down once again, and Flash Bite will damage the active Kingdra by 10. And it looks like they're going to play a Cyrus's Conspiracy to search the deck for a supporter, a Team Galactic's Invention, and a basic energy. So we're going to see another energy gain grabbed off of this. We're going to see a Fire Energy, must run out of Lightning Energy now, and a Roseanne's Research. So they got some basic support for the next turn, but it looks like they might be running out of Lightning Energy cards in their deck. And it looks like we're just going to see this Luxray take another knockout with that Crobat and Lucario helping out its Flash Impact attack, doing 120 damage to knock out the Kingdra. Another Kingdra comes right back up to the active spot. This Kingdra's under a lot of pressure, but this turn it will take a knockout on the Luxray level X. We're going to see Cosmic Power used to draw 1 card from the deck, and we might see a second Cosmic Power used as well, seeing if we can draw more cards. Looks like the Kingdra side is going to draw 2 cards with the second Cosmic Power, no Power Sprays being used this turn, and they're going to use a Roseanne's Research. They're running out of Kingdras though, with already 2 Kingdras in the discard pile. They might have to start setting up another attacker. We're going to see a Crobat grabbed off of this Kingdra's Roseanne's Research, finding 2 basic Pokemon, so it looks like they might be going for some more powers. We're going to see Flash Bite used. It looks like Flash Bite is going to put some extra damage on the benched Pokemon, in this case Azelf, and then we're going to see a Warp Point used. So the Luxray player really wants to promote that Azelf, but now that Kingdra would knock out the Azelf if it was promoted to the active spot. Not only this, but that Luxray has only 20 health remaining, so they're going to be able to kill the Luxray level X on the bench with the bench damage of Dragon Pump this turn. So the Warp Point is a hugely impactful card. They're going to retreat that Crobat for free, and now they get to attack both Luxray at the same time and use the maximum amount of damage that they can do. Looks like we see a Super Scoop up here, and it's going to get a Heads, so they can pick up that Crobat again. We might see the Crobat come back down immediately for another assault. Let's see if it comes through. So Super Scoop up, flipping a coin, and when it gets Heads, it allows it to pick up any other Pokemon. We see the Crobat come back down, immediately using its Flash Bite Poke Power again. So Luxray is only 10 HP away from being knocked out. If they can find another Super Scoop up, it might be lights out for both Luxray here. So they're going to use a Uxie setup draw until they have 7 cards in their hand, probably trying to dig for that last Super Scoop up. But instead we just see a Night Maintenance played, so probably going to try to recover some of their Pokemon lines here with their Kingdra lines being so weak right now. They've lost multiple Kingdras, so just going to shuffle some back into the deck with that Night Maintenance. Looks like we saw 2 Horsies and a Kingdra go back, so they should be able to re-establish a Kingdra next turn if this one gets knocked out. Then we're just going to see the Dragon Pump, discarding 2 cards from the hand there, and they're going to be able to knock out that benched Luxray with the bench damage of Dragon Pump, as well as put that Luxray in the active 10 HP away from being knocked out. So the really big swing turn here from Kingdra, taking the advantage once again. Looks like we're going to see the Luxray side maybe think about benching another Pokemon here, but they're first going to use a Night Maintenance, so they might be able to get back their Luxray level X here, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. The full Luxray level X and the Luxray going back into the deck with the energy. Will they be able to get that energy back out though, or the Luxray level X so they can use it once again? Looks like we're going to see a Fire Energy come down to the Luxray, so we might see the Luxray go for its second attack here. You see the Luxray powering up with the energy gain as well, so its energy gain allows it to use its attacks more efficiently, and we see a Roseanne's Research grabbing the other LuxRay that they just put back in the deck, as well as a Lightning Energy card to put to the hand. Might see that LuxRay hit the bench this turn, that way you might be able to level it up next turn. And we might see the LuxRay actually go for its second attack here, Trash Bolt, since they got the energy to their hand. Looks like a Claydol is going to be activated here, putting some cards at the bottom and drawing. And yes, it looks like we're going to see the Trash Bolt, so they have to discard an energy card from their hand, but it's going to do 140 damage for the one-hit KO on the Kingdra. So the Kingdra player in a pretty bad spot. They are missing all of their Kingdras in action right now, and they have to somehow get a Kingdra online this turn. So they do have 2 Claydol, so it's definitely possible, but it's definitely a scary spot to be in if you are the Kingdra player. They're going to get the Horsey off of the BB Search, able to find any Pokemon, and it looks like they just have the Rare Candy Kingdra in the hand, so no worries, Kingdra is back on the board. And we're going to see a Super Scoop Up played here. This is a really big one, and we see a Heads, so the Kingdra is going to be able to pick up their Crobat and use it once again. So the Super Scoop Ups are doing absolutely crazy work in this game, and Crobat's going to use its Flash Bite Pokepower, and it looks like the player cannot stop the Flash Bite, so the LuxRay is going to be knocked out. So the Kingdra player taking another prize card. The LuxRay player is in a pretty bad spot right now. Some of their Pokemon just get knocked out if they are promoted, like this Azelf, so they have to be very careful what they promote. Looks like the Kingdra player might be able to use an Aqua Recycle attack, able to shuffle back a bunch of energy for the knockout, so almost any Pokemon on this player's board can be KO'd by the Kingdra, it looks like. So they're just going to promote the Azelf to the active spot, probably just saying, you can take this Azelf, please do not take my LuxRay. So the Kingdra player is going to draw some more cards with Cosmic Power. It looks like a nice net draw there, and they still have a second Cosmic Power to continue drawing through the deck. I'm not sure if the Kingdra player has any water energy though, so they might be forced to use their Aqua Recycle attack instead of using Dragon Pump. Looks like we're going to see that, yep. Our Aqua Stream used right there, and they're going to put back all of the water energy in their discard pile back into the deck. But unfortunately, they were unable to use Dragon Pump that turn, so that means they lost their chance to one-hit KO one of the bigger level X Pokemon that the opponent has. So the Kingdra shuffling it back, going down to what I believe is 1 prize card remaining. So the LuxApe side is in a pretty bad spot here, but if they can get another LuxRay online, they will once again be able to one-hit KO this Kingdra, theoretically. We're going to see the LuxRay get the energy gain, and the Claydol is going to go for the Cosmic Power. Let's see if Claydol can draw some cards to help this LuxApe side back into the game. We see a Poketurn, a really big find here, able to recycle that Crobat, just like the Kingdra did to them last turn. They're going to pick up their own Crobat, meaning they can reuse that Flash Bite Pokepower to put more damage on the opponent's board. We're also going to see an SP Radar, an absolutely huge find here, able to put a card back to the deck and find that LuxRay level X again. There's going to be no Bright Looks happening here though, as this LuxRay level X wants to take out this active Kingdra at all costs. So we're going to see the Crobat come back down, use its Flash Bite to ping the Kingdra for 10 damage, and then we can probably see a Flash Impact for a knockout this turn. We're also going to see a Cyrus Conspiracy finding another supporter and a Team Galactic's Invention, as well as that Fire Energy from the deck. It looks like we're going to see a Roseanne's Research found, as well as a Poketurn, maybe for the next turn to use another Crobat. Those cards are all going to go to the hand, and it looks like LuxRay's here to launch another Flash Impact for 120 damage against the Kingdra, and they're going to take 30 damage on their Crobat. It looks like the LuxRay is also down to just 1 prize card remaining, so the game is down to the wire, but this Kingdra side needs to get yet another attacker online. Ooh, it looks like they have a Warp Point though. This is a very dangerous spot for the LuxRay player, since they're going to have to put their Lucario into the active spot, and they have to find a way to get the Lucario out of the active spot next turn. We're going to see a Super Scoop Up played from the Kingdra player, and it's in Tails, so big flip there. They're not able to use their last Super Scoop Up. We are going to see the Claydol here used to draw some cards with its Cosmic Power, drawing 3 cards from the deck, and let's see if the Kingdra player can get another Kingdra online. We're seeing a Water Energy put on the Horsey, but we don't yet have a Kingdra, so another Cosmic Power is going to be used to draw more cards from the deck, putting some to the bottom and drawing 3 more cards. Will we see a Kingdra come out? And it looks like we have a Cynthia's Feeling, so the player's going to be able to shuffle their hand into their deck, and since their Pokemon was knocked out last turn, they can draw 8 cards. So So going to be able to draw a massive 8 cards there, almost surely going to find a Kingdra off those 8 cards and get right back into the game. We see a rare candy, of course, played off of that, evolving right into the Kingdra, so it can use its Dragon Pump attack immediately. We're going to see another Warp Point played, though. This time, the player is going to re-promote the LuxRay back to the active spot, and the Kingdra player will put up the Crobat and immediately retreat. We're going to see the Kingdra throw an attack at this LuxRay, but it can't knock out the LuxRay. It's only able to do 60 damage since its Aqua Stream attack was nerfed, having to be used earlier in the game. It's going to do 20 more damage to the Claydol, but the Kingdra is in a really bad spot if this LuxRay can get another attack off. We're going to see the LuxRay use their Roseanne's Research to search the deck, probably for some energy cards, but it looks like they found nothing. Do they have what it takes to win the game, though? In their hand, we're going to see an energy attached to the LuxRay, and it looks like we're going to see, once again, the Trash Bolt attack being used for 140 damage with weakness, knocking out this Kingdra, and that is the final prize card taken. The LuxApe deck is your winner.
So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help the channel grow and reach new viewers. And a huge shout out and thank you to Whimsicast for providing the commentary on today's video. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Hotline Phantom logging out.